John and I are heading for Mount Baldy today. We're going to do the Register Ridge trip. And I have the privilege of being escorted to the trailhead in the Tesla. So yeah, we're going to go up there and start at the Register Ridge and go up through the snow. And we got crampons and ice axes and micro spikes and all kinds of warm clothes. So we'll see how it goes. Neither one of us have been out for a while, so it ought to be real interesting. Yeah. All right, we're still on the freeway. We'll hit the trailhead soon. Well, we're about maybe half or 3/4 of a mile into the Register Ridge hike, and there's LA down there. So that's the ridge you take if you're going to come up from the village. And then there's Baldy right there through the, that's the bowl that we're looking straight at right there. And then so we're just to the east of it on this ridge. It's called Register Ridge. And that'll take us up. We'll intersect with the Devil's Backbone Trail and we'll cut across to Baldy. Sun's up. Oh gosh. Let's take a look around here. Ski huts, well no, the lodge is over that way. Here's Telegraph. And then, oh, that looks cool. Ontario Peak. We came from down in there's where the car's parked. Down yonder in the valley. And the village is down there. Oh, how cool. So there's the ridge trail up from the village. Huh. Runs up that way.
Look at my shadow on the tree.
I see that. It looks really cool. And we got Baldy right there. Destination. This morning we could see people climbing the bowl straight up with headlights on. What you shooting, John?
Took another selfie.
Another selfie?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, lots of selfies on this trip. Uh-oh.
In the tree, I mean.
Here's a picture of John taking a picture of me, taking a video of him, taking a picture of me. So there's the ridge. There's some rock climbing that is up ahead, but you don't really have to do it. You can go around it if you're lazy or if it's slippery. All right. What a view. Cool. Okay, off we go. Let's get a mite snowy along the ridge now. It would appear that at some point we're gonna have to put on some traction. So it remains to be seen, will it be micro spikes or crampons? Crampons have the big teeth. Micro spikes work pretty well when it's not slippery, icy. So like right now I'm maneuvering a pine tree to walk around the snow, but feels like micro spike snow and not crampon ice. So when I get to the point where I have to put them on, then I guess I'll make the decision at that time. Luckily John and I brought both kinds of traction, so we've got the option to go super safe or safe enough. Still on the ridge. We're a little bit higher than the lodge, a little bit higher than the ski hut, and kind of patchy on and off snow. It looks like we're coming up on the rock face now, where you have to you're gonna have to either go up it or around it. I personally usually go around it because I'm lazy. just want to go up. But so far the snow has been real gravelly and not icy, so it's great to walk on just with good boots. Yeah, it's probably a half hour after sunrise. You get this little rest. There's like a little saddle right down in there. You get to take a break for about 100 yards and then straight back up this little bit. So we'll see how the rocks go. I think the trail actually goes, it like leads you right into the rock face, and then you just kind of look around. You could skirt yourself around I think the west side of the rock face, but the rocks are, you can see them right up in there. And yeah, it's a good little practice climb for the guys that like to do rock climbing. So here's the rock face here, and we're gonna go off here, I think to the left of it, because it's really not necessary to climb that thing. And that's a pretty good little crag there. You can kind of go up and test your mountain goat skills, take you up and show you the, yeah, so that's pretty cool. Nice little rock face. But anyway, we are gonna go around this way, not because it is hard, but because it is easy. Yuck, yuck. I want to show you the way the sunlight dances off these ridges over here. This is Telegraph in Ontario. Haven't done the Telegraph yet, haven't hiked in that area, but I've been up on the Ontario and over to Cucamonga. It's really nice over back there. Lots of trees and a lot of big screes that you got to walk across. Be pretty hairy in this icy snow. Haven't done that yet either. So we're down in there. That's where we're coming from. In fact, the car's parked right down in there. So we get to zoom it in here. Down in the canyon. And then there's Los Angeles out there. Sunlit area there is just on the other side of what's called Ice House Canyon, and you can go up Ice House Canyon to get to that area. It basically takes you up into the top end, and you can fork off into the different trails. Takes you wherever you see fit. It's a little cooler up here. Put some more clothes on. John and I are taking a bit of a break here, trying to get some nutrition and a little bit something to drink. We're almost to the intersection of holy deedly da, Devil's Backbone, yeah, and coming up the ridge here. So take a shot of the trail that we came up. We're down in there and came up the ridge here. There's Ontario and Timber and all those over there. But all we gotta do is just come kind of right up to the top here. This is almost there. West Baldy's right over here. We're just a little bit below Main Baldy. West Baldy's over there. And so we're throwing on the micro spikes, which is these little guys here, so that we don't slip on that stuff. No, it's kind of weird though when it's 30 degrees and your fingers feel like popsicles and you can barely talk. Like, how you doing, Chad?
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
Thawed out a little bit now.
Yeah, we had to thaw out. It's a little breezy, it's blowing your mouth, blows cold on your mouth, and next thing you know you can't talk. So
Made my eyebrows cold.
yeah, yeah. That's all right. It'll be colder at the top. So
Something to look forward to.
yeah, something to look forward to. All right, now let's pack it up and move on. See. I got off the trail a little bit in the snow, and so I went high and John went low, and we're gonna just about converge here in a few minutes. But we got Baldy right in front of us, and that's the last little hump that we had planned today. Let's go over the edge here. Yeah, we'll look, we probably see John on the lower trail. Yep, there he is. That's kind of where we're headed. And then right over here is a really neat little valley. You can see, grab my poles here. You can see some of the other little peaks around here. Yeah, I'm just kind of out here walking in the snowfields off trail, which is kind of okay on the snow, but they don't want you making new trails in the dirt. So I'll come over here to the edge of this thing and we'll take a look down in the canyon. There's the desert. I'm not going to get too close here because I don't have spikes or an ice axe, and I don't want to end up down there because that's where I would head. Pretty nice. Anyways, so you can just see the trail going up there, so we're gonna go on that sucker. Let's go back over and find John. You get an impression of how big everything is here when you walk and walk and walk and you don't get anywhere. Or when you start going up and all of a sudden your heart starts to pound and you run out of breath in like 50 feet. Well, I guess that's just what happens when you get old. So you can see the dirt trail right here. We're gonna go tie into it and we'll meet up with John. Well, it probably gets better than this, but not for me and not right now. This is just awesome. So that's Telegraph in Ontario down there. Just about even with them, maybe a little above. And over here, we can see those people. Just barely see a couple of them in the bowl over there. So they're almost up to the rim. We just got this last little hump here. Just a quarter mile of misery. No, actually, it's a lot of fun. Fantastic. It's just a fantastic view up here. Oh, that's Saddleback across there, just on the other side of Ontario. See it back there. In fact, you can see quite a few of the local peaks. Let's zoom in and get a... Yeah, Saddleback. Back there. And then, let's see, that's Santa Jacinto there, and then Gorgonio's just on the other side of this big one. Yeah, okay. Yeah, if we were up on top of that other peak over there, we could probably see all that stuff. A little bit hazy today. It's not perfect. We ain't complaining. There's the city, Los Angeles, California. So we should see Mount Baden-Powell right over the top here. There it is. Named after the guy that started the Boy Scouts. Hope you're getting this. It's a little windy up here. I got a little mohawk on my microphone, but it's blowing pretty good. Here you go. It's not as much snow as I thought there'd be on Baden-Powell. And then that one right there is Iron Mountain. been on that one. It's just to the right of the snow-covered one. That's West Baldy. And how you doing? No worries. Pardon me? Not at all. All right, so I guess we better do the obligatory pano so that you can see all the way around. But I will not do it with my ugly mug in the frame. So there's where we come from. John's resting at another point on the summit there. This is one of the two signs that they have above snow up here. This one kind of tells you which way to go if you want to head kind of due east. And then the one I'm standing next to here is the one that tells you where to go if you kind of head kind of due north or due west. And all of the big Baldy signs and the big rock tent places, they're all under me about 4 feet of snow. Well, kind of ice and snow, but anyways. So it's a little more interesting landscape, I guess, when the snow is not so thick. But the nice thing it is, we're walking on top of it. We're not having to deal with snowshoes today. Here's West Baldy, which is just a little hump past a saddle. It looks like it's like a stone's throw away, but it takes about 20 minutes to walk over there. And then, so we'll go around, so that's dead west. And then here's Los Angeles, right here, some reservoirs down there you can see. And then this is that ridge that I showed you several times when we were walking up. That's Ontario and Telegraph Peaks. There's a bunch of peaks out there, Cucamonga, all up from Icehouse Canyon. And then there's Idlewild out there, San Jacinto, and then there's San Gorgonio. Let's see, we'll zoom in and we'll take a look at those peaks. Yeah, awesome. We're about just a little bit lower than both of them by a few hundred. So that's kind of due east right there. So we walk over here. Here's Pine Mountain. Finally came to me. And then just over the ridge you can see one of those little tent shelters right down there. It's all full of snow right now. And then looks like there's some runs on Pine Mountain. This is as close as I'm going to get to this precipice, because it's straight friggin' down from here. Hope you're not getting blown out with the wind noise. That's Baden-Powell. And then back around here, there's Iron Mountain, right down there, and back to West Baldy. This guy here, he's my guide.
Howdy, Dan.
Howdy, John. Nice meeting you. Come here often? All right, on our way down. The snow is very forgiving. It's not ice, it's not slush, it's not powder. It's just enough those micros really get a grab. So we're pretty lucky. That's where we were. Okay, put the camera away, use 2 hands. So this is the scary side hill stuff. You just have to pay attention, know your snow, have the right equipment, and don't look down. Because we got well, we could always go skiing, I guess. I just didn't bring skis. But I'd have to cancel a one Canon camera in order to grab something sharp to poke into the ground to stop my perilous descent. So, but what would a good vlogging trip be without footage of a guy showing the scary part and then eating it? No, we gotta get that footage. Have to get the shot. All right. That's not that bad. Okay, back to using two hands. What do you think, John? Piece of cake!
Awesome.
Piece of cake! Oh, it's beautiful. Lovely. So John and I are sitting here having a little lunch, reorganizing. We're back on Register Ridge at the very top, and we're contemplating whether we should even go home for the rest of our lives. Is that right?
That's about it.
Yeah.
Too much weakness leaving my body.
Yeah, right. We're deciding whether we'll have legs enough to get off this stupid hill. No, we'll be fine. Just getting a little snack, little leg fuel. Horrible view.
Right down here, there's a good view of San Jacinto and San Bernardino.
Yeah. Yeah. And here's Baldy is behind us and getting smaller. Sitting up here in the tortured trees. Wind really hammers them up on this ridge. Now John and I stopped off here at the falls just to have a look and stow the poles and the packs and walk back to the car. That fall's going off pretty good over there. San Antonio Falls. So are we back at the car, John?
Well, yes we are.
Oh, that's right. We're back at the car. Well, I guess we went about 4 miles up, 4 miles down. The hike's called Mount Baldy from the Register Ridge. And it's just about 4,000 feet up from here to the top and back down again. Fun hike. All done. Off to lunch.